What's going on, guys? Briar Rabbit here, and what a week it's been. It's really been 2 weeks, right? I mean, 2 weeks of solid Destiny news. Last week, it was much rougher, right? We finally got to find out about the House of Wolves. We got the release date, but we also found out there is not going to be a raid in House of Wolves, and that was disappointing to a lot of people, me included. This week, the news was much better. Bungie came out, did a live stream, showed us a lot of the new content, and frankly, a lot of it looks great. We've still got a lot to find out. We still don't know exactly how Trials of Osiris is going to work. We still don't know exactly what the Prison of Elders is going to be. We keep getting hints about this new raid-like activity, and although we know there's not going to be a new raid in the House of Wolves, these hints about a new raid-like activity sure are enticing. We got to find out how weapon upgrading works. And to me, this is one of the biggest bombshells of the House of Wolves. After The Dark Below came out, I mean, weapon upgrading became a real chore. If you were like me and you had a ton of exotic weapons, you basically had to go through the entire upgrade tree for each of those exotic weapons for a second time. And the first time you go through it, fine, maybe you find a new exotic weapon once every week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, so it really doesn't feel like that much of a grind. But when you're trying to upgrade, 10 or 15 exotics, this takes a lot of time, and frankly, 5 months into The Dark Below, I'm still not done. So the changes they've made to the way we upgrade legendary weapons inside the House of Wolves is one of the most exciting things. These new legendary weapons, and presumably the exotic weapons, although we don't know for sure, are not going to have attack bubbles that you have to fill out with experience. They're just going to have the perk bubbles. So, you're still going to be able to fill out bubbles that say, these are the different sites available, and then there's going to be a crowd control bubble or an outlaw bubble, but those attack bubbles are just gone. They're totally gone. You're going to upgrade your weapons much, much faster, and you're not going to have to go through that grind of using, a 300 attack weapon when you wanted the 331 attack weapon that was promised to you. These weapons, when you buy them from a vendor, are going to start off at 365 attack, and they're going to stay that way. The only thing that's going to change about them are the perks, filling out those perk trees. And I find that to be a really refreshing change to Destiny. I think that Luke Smith, his post a few months ago, kind of saying that they made a mistake with The Dark Below by putting too much of the fun stuff behind walls of experience gaining and just working to grind these things out. I think that makes a lot of sense, and you can see that they really took that into account. There's going to be much less grinding to play with these new weapons because they start at 365, and that's awesome. Not to mention, you also completely get rid of commendations. You don't have to grind for commendations anymore to buy weapons or armor from the vendors, which is awesome. Those things got in our way for like a week or 2 weeks, and then you basically never thought of them before because as you just played Destiny, you just kind of racked these things up. They're gone now. You can turn them in for reputation, for faction reputation, which is great. You actually get quite a bit of reputation for turning them in. It's phenomenal. I'm glad to see those things gone. I'm also really excited that we can now reforge weapons through the Gunsmith Iron Banner style. So if you buy that new Red Hand 9 from New Monarchy, but don't love the perks it comes with, you can re-roll it with the Gunsmith and try and get the perks that you do really love and really want. That is going to change the game in Destiny, I think. Also, we got to see that there's a lot of brand new perks that we've never seen on weapons before. So hopefully what that means is that there's not going to be correct rolls for weapons. It's going to be about player preference and play style. Instead of having to get specific perks to get the correct roll for a weapon to either use it in PvP or in PvE, now, hopefully, we'll still got to wait to see on this one, but hopefully there are so many more perks and there's so many useful perks that it's really going to be about player preference. Sure, Outlaw was a great perk before, but is it going to be as good as the new perks? That's what I'm really hoping for. I'm really hoping to see that some of these new perks, you're really making decisions about which perks are the best on each weapon as opposed to just knowing, if you have a hand cannon, you want to use it in PvP, these are the perks that you need to roll, period. You know, that is not an interesting way to play the game. It's not an interesting way to discover new weapons. It just means that some weapons are not going to be as good as others because they just didn't come with those perks. Now you can re-roll them, and there's all these new perks available. I think that's fantastic news. I also liked really to see the reef. I thought that was a really fun tour that Bungie gave us. We got to see a little bit of information about Trials of Osiris. A little bit was on purpose, a little bit wasn't. But I'm really looking forward to getting some new PvP content. You know, the Iron Banner is great, but once an Iron Banner is over with, I'll tell you, I don't go back into Control for about a month. You know, you just play so much Control in the Iron Banner, it'll be nice to see a new variety, kind of a new way to play PvP content in Destiny, and the fact that you can get all this cool Trials of Osiris gear is just going to make it that much more worthwhile to do. I'm beside myself about Trials of Osiris. I'm beside myself about the new weapon upgrades. I can't wait to see what some of these new missions are going to be. I can't wait to see the Prison of Elders content. And I can't wait to see what this new raid-like activity is going to be. We don't know anything about this, right? We know there's not going to be a raid in the House of Wolves. But we keep getting these little tiny hints, these little mentions of a raid-like activity. I don't think they're referring to Prison of Elders when they talk about this, and they don't talk about it much. Usually when you hear about it, it seems like it was a mistake. We're not supposed to talk about this yet. This is a surprise for later. So we don't have any idea what this is going to be, but a raid-like activity, that's got me really excited. So we've got a ton of news still coming from Bungie. We still haven't seen the details on Trials of Osiris or the Prison of Elders. We still don't know a lot about what's coming in House of Wolves. But I gotta say, compared to last week, I am feeling much better about the future of Destiny. And that's what I want to ask you guys now. How do you guys feel about Bungie's latest news dump? You know, are you still pissed off there's no raid? Are you really looking forward to Prison of Elders? Are you feeling much more bullish about House of Wolves as a whole? That's how I'm feeling. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys think. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that like button if you liked the video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time.